So, we got a lot of comments on our last fish scale braid handle wrap tutorial. A lot of you guys said that you couldn't see the action, what was going on. You didn't like that we were using the front camera. It's been a while since we did that one, and we think we've learned a bit about tutorial making since then, so we want to cover that again today. This is actually one of my favorite handle wraps. This is the one that we wrapped last time. It looks a little bit ridiculous on this big survival knife, but on a smaller handle, maybe on a canoe paddle or something like that, it really does provide some nice grip, and it stays in place a lot better than some other handle wraps. So with that, let's dive right in. So to show you guys how to make this handle wrap, I'm going to be doing it around a wooden dowel. This is about 1 inch thick, so keep that in mind when you're trying to decide how much cord you need for yours. This handle wrap that we did last time, if I remember right, it took about 18 feet of cord. And that handle is slightly wider than this dowel. I think it was about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, and got to be about 5 inches long. So you'll need a fid for this project, a type 3 fid for 550 paracord. This is my favorite one that we sell, and I'll link to that in the description. So you can thread that onto one end. Then you'll take your end without the fid and wrap it around your handle once so that your working end, which is this one here, is crossed over the top. You only need to leave about 2 inches of slack there, just enough so that it doesn't slide through the knots. Then we're going to start turning our handle, and we'll take that end with the fid and bring it up through the bottom of that loop around. Got a lot of cord to pull through. So now we just have an overhand knot around our dowel or handle, and we're going to do the same thing again. Continuing the same direction, we'll bring it up from the bottom once again. We're going to do this 4 times. If your handle's wider, you might want to do it 5 or 6. Once again, up from the bottom. And I think we can fit one more on there. You want them to be spaced pretty evenly. Once you have all those done, you want it to come up right next to your tail end. Then we're going to wrap it down to the bottom, and we'll skip this first loop. We aren't going to do anything with that one, but then we want to bring it up through this loop. So just catching that one cord. We're going to go up through there. Pull all of your slack through. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Skip over one loop and grab the next one. The cord tends to twist on this, so you kind of have to keep that untwisted as you go. So coming around again, we're skipping the next one and coming up through the next loop after that. And eventually you're going to come back around to where you started. And we want to grab the loop that we just made. So not this top layer here, but we want to grab the loop of the one on the bottom layer. So this is starting on our 3rd row now. Skip that next one and grab this one here. On metal handles, you want to watch how tight you wrap this, because you can really tend to scrape up your fid if you have a textured metal handle. Again, skip that next one, grab the one after that. And once we complete this row, we'll see what our final pattern is supposed to look like so that you can keep on going and repeat that. So now, this loop right here goes all the way up to the top, so we don't want to grab that one. Each time we just want to be grabbing the lowest layer. The top layer looks a little bit different because these rows are going to be longer than these ones right here, and that's just because they don't have another layer looped into them from the top. So after this, all of our layers should look the same. So now with our first 3 layers done, we're going to speed through the rest of it. If you need to skip ahead and see what the result looks like, definitely do that and then come back and keep on working. You can clip this end however short you want, but it's going to get buried under your braid either way. Okay, this is how far we got with our 10 feet of cord on a 3/4 inch dowel. I measured it, so I know for sure now that it's 3/4 inches. And our braid is about 3 inches long, so plan accordingly. So now that we've come to the end, you can finish it off however you want, but I'm just going to clip it with scissors and melt it against. So I hope that tutorial was a lot easier to follow than our last one. Either way, let us know in the comments so that we can further improve our channel. We'll put a link in the description to where you can buy Paracord and the FID that we used as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.